Here are the tests on my 1980 Crane Radcliffe. It is set to the water line, which is actually higher than the original overflow top, which is why I put tape around it. That's a pretty big fail on Crane's part if they actually came with these and they're lower than the water line stamped in the porcelain. And it is also using a standard flapper. One other thing I forgot to mention in the initial video of these two toilets was that they were shimmed with pieces of lead, which you don't really see too much anymore. So let's give this a flush and see how it does on tests. The flush is quite nice, although it could be a little bit longer. I think that can be fixed with a taller flush valve. For the first test, let's see if it can take a washcloth. I'm guessing it will do perfectly because I don't think there are any minerals and there is nothing else obstructing the trapway, and these are awesome performers, so let's give it a shot. Did perfectly as expected. Now let's see if it can take a grocery bag. I think it will also pass this perfectly. It did perfectly as expected. Now, let's see if it can take the washcloth and the grocery bag together. Honestly, I don't know what to expect, but I think it'll do pretty well. It struggled a little bit, but it took it in one flush too. That's pretty good. Now, let's see if it can take a dish towel. I'm expecting that it will at least get it past the opening. I think it will probably clog, but there's a chance it won't. I think it's going to go through. I don't think I'll have to plunge it. I don't know how many flushes it'll take, but I think that it has a pretty good chance of taking it. Here is flush number 2. That was close. Honestly, I think that it's caught on a barb in the trapway or something. It seems to be draining awfully fast. Well, time to plunge it. Yeah, it's caught on something. I don't know if I can really blame the toilet for that. Let me go pull that pipe apart and see real quick. It was actually just stuck in the bottom of the toilet, so that failed, but I'll give it a second chance. I don't really know how this will do. It tried taking it all at once that time. I really think this has the ability to pass this, but it just isn't. You know what? It's worth another flush. I think I'm gonna see just one last time if it can pass the dish towel. This is your last shot, 1980 Crane Radcliffe. Make us proud. Well, it's not the best performer, but that's a pretty big dish towel, so I'd say it's still a pretty good toilet. I definitely wouldn't mind installing one of these in my bathroom. I just prefer to have something a little more, interesting and unique. So overall, the performance is good. And so now I'll give this one last flush, see if it can take that through, and then I'll start on the flush tests. So right now it has just passed the water economy line in the tank, and it is nearing the main line, so I'm going to give it another flush and see if it can pass this. What I'm getting from this is the dish towel is just too big. Perfect pass. Now let's see how it flushes with a clogged siphon jet. Honestly, with the power this has, I kind of think it'll siphon. Awesome. That was a really loud blast of air at the beginning too. I'm gonna see if I can make it do that again. Well, I didn't wait for the tank to fill up, so that just sounded normal. Now, let's see how it flushes with a clogged siphon jet and an overfilled tank. That was really cool. It almost overflowed here in the front. I can only imagine what it would do on a high tank. I really need to get that thing set up. Now, let's see if it can take dirt. I think this will do well. I think it'll miss this spot in the front just like the cadets and plebes, but other than that, I think that it will impress me. There's someone who thinks he's cool but isn't. But aside from that, I think, dude, will you shut up for a minute, please? So, I think that the bowl clearance could be better. I don't know if you saw, but right after the flapper closed, there was still dirt spinning around in the swirl, so it could use a slightly longer flush. The bowl rinse seems pretty good. It did leave some stuff behind, that's for sure. I'd say the bowl rinse is good. It's not great, but it'll get the job done. The bowl clearance seems pretty good as well. It just seems like the dirt stayed in that swirl for a little bit too long. So anyway, I'm gonna give this another flush, see how much of that stuff it can take, and then I'll wrap it up. I bet if I did that overfilled tank clogged siphon jet flush, it would wash 100% of the rim. And maybe even more. It would probably get all this stuff off the side too. Well, that is all the tests for this 1980 Crane Radcliffe. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed my video, please subscribe and make sure and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time.